Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It's Thursday, the 17th day of August today. Congressional Startup Day today. Black Cat Appreciation Day. National Massachusetts Day. National Nonprofit Day. National I Love My Feet Day. I don't love my feet. It is a national.
Okay.
I thought you were going to say my feet look like Fred Flintstone's feet. Usually you say that. And National Thrift Shop Day today. All of those things happening on this Thursday. Also, I do have a Dear John letter for today. And it's a young lady whose boyfriend did not want to marry her at all. And all of a sudden she inherited some money. And now he's talking about, maybe we could get married. I don't know. So far, folks online have not been too polite to the boyfriend. But you know what? I guess I don't know. We'll see what Heidi has to say, and I'll tell you what I have to say. And you can tell us what you have to say as well. You can certainly chime in at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
It's more important now than ever before to have a better credit card. We would love to help at bettercreditcards.com. We offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we can help you find a good fit for you at bettercreditcards.com.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to bettercreditcards.com.
That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. At this point, everybody knows that it's not good to text and drive. But what about texting and walking? A group of researchers say perhaps phones should be disabled while walking to prevent accidents and injuries. An experiment from Neuroscience Research Australia and the University of New South Wales found that on any regular day, as many as 80% of people, both younger and older, may be head down texting while walking. That's a bad idea. They put some random slip hazards and things out, like a little simulated environment, and they had some problems. These people were wearing a safety harness to prevent real injury and sensors to collect their motion data. Scientists warned the volunteers about the hazard, but found that every person reacted differently. Some slowed down, some sped up in anticipation of slipping, some just slipped and managed to avoid the hazard altogether. It led researchers to conclude that to better prevent from accidents while texting and walking, just quit texting and walking. So they're saying it's a bad idea, and you can actually set your phone screen up so it won't work while you're moving. So they have different...
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I saw somebody almost step into traffic while they were looking at their phone. So be careful out there. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help you protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know? I mean, who would have thought? It turns out that some of our favorite casino card games could be rigged. Yeah. Researchers and hackers showcased their latest findings at the annual Black Hat and DEF CON Security Conference in where else but Las Vegas. One group of researchers say they found that Deckmate 2 is the most widely used automated shuffling machine in casinos, and it can be fully hijacked by plugging a small device into its USB port. And once it's compromised, the machine's code can be tampered with and order the deck of cards to be manipulated. The Deckmate 2 also has an internal camera that can be accessed, allowing the cheater to know the entire deck in order in real time. Therefore, the hand of every player at the poker table could be known as well. This information could be sent to a partner via Bluetooth, who could then signal to the cheating player. So in other words, what they're saying is, if you want to cheat at cards, here's how you do it.
Yeah.
I think that seems
I
like
would not recommend it.
No, it seems like a bad plan. I got a feeling Deckmate 2 is probably going to get kicked to the curb. I don't even know what that is, but that's the one they were picking on in the story. We don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. The period film Last Voyage of the Demeter, I don't know what that is, capsized in its debut at the box office. Now, it was up against some movies that have done okay, Barbie and Oppenheimer. So it had a soft opening on Friday. The Dracula movie was projected for fifth place debut and a mere $6.5 million for the 3-day opening. By the way, Barbie did $31.4 million in that same time
Wow.
frame. And Oppenheimer added $17.2 million. So Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson said he's completely heartbroken by the devastating wildfires in Hawaii. He's got an Instagram video where he's talking about that and several things that have happened there, and that there's all kinds of news coming from there. Kevin Costner is asking a judge to finally sanction his estranged wife amid claims she's deliberately dragging out the divorce to challenge their premarital agreement. So that just seems like I got messy quick.
That's a big mess. Yeah, that's too bad.
Big screen, little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com.
Do you cringe when you get your mobile phone bill? Mint Mobile can help. Just $15 a month for premium wireless. Give your family a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone to Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That is far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. Judge Judy is not only one of the highest paid lawyers in the world, she's now the richest television host in the world. Judge
Really?
Judy. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. She also has several other shows that she produces. So in addition to her program, she found this little formula that works. So she's got the one, what were we talking about the other day? The Tribunal
Justice.
And we saw
or something.
a commercial for this Tribunal Justice.
Really dumb.
It does. Yeah. I started watching part of one episode because I'm like, what is this? And I was like, yeah, this ain't for me. I'm sure some people like it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be there. All right, moving on. What do you do with all the plastic that we hear is accumulating in the ocean and eventually in our bodies? Well, it turns out that polyethylene is one of the most common plastic used today. It's actually very similar in chemical structure to the chief fatty acid in soap. And a scientist at Virginia Tech has discovered a way to convert one into the other. Yeah, so this compound called...
So he's going to make soap into plastic.
No, he's going to make plastic into
Oh,
soap. Yeah. I think. Let's read. Maybe he'll surprise us all, Heidi. The compound, called surfactant, may one day be used to upcycle polyethylene plastic into soap, detergent, and more. See, he went the other way.
Makes sense.
In other good plastic news, scientists in the Netherlands show that the issue of plastic pollution in our oceans is far smaller than believed. We read that last week.
Yep.
Their computer analysts showed that about 3.2 million tons of plastics that made it into the ocean over the last 20 years. That's about 1/10 of the 300 million that some projections have. So there's some people out there saying that the problem is 10 times worse than it really is. So I don't know if they know that it's not as bad and they're just bloating this number, or if they just don't know. But I'm glad that there's somebody out there that, according to them, they know what they're doing. So good news on all fronts when it comes to that. Scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. If you're looking for a new opportunity, South Dakota is calling. There's over 27,000 open jobs at this very moment. Whether you like the city life or if you're more of a fan of the rural lifestyle, South Dakota has plenty to offer. From the Black Hills and the Badlands on the west side of the state to the rolling prairies in the middle with many small towns and the city of Sioux Falls on the eastern edge, there's no state income tax in South Dakota and many job opportunities. Learn more about what's waiting for you in South Dakota at movetosd.com. That's movetosd.com. And it's time right now for Dear John Letters.
Dear John. Dear John.
All right, I got to first of all just say thank you to some folks. I've got several people who've been answering almost every week with really, really, really good answers to our Dear John letters. If you're one of those people, thank you. If you're not one of those people, you can be part of that cool kid club. All you got to do is go to facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. And then every week, early in the week, I post the Dear John letters. And then I get all kinds of great advice that I could steal and give if I wanted to. But I don't do that. I wait until we're done sharing our advice before I get, too deep dive. I don't dive in too deep on those comments until afterwards, because I don't want their advice to skew my advice. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So here's my advice for this letter. Oh, should I read the letter first?
Yes.
Oh, we'll do that. Dear John, I've been living with my boyfriend for 3 years. 6 months ago, my grandmother passed away, and I inherited almost $2 million.
Woo.
Ever since I got the money, he's been pressuring me to cover the rent and utilities for our
Whoa.
apartment and start putting money into a joint savings fund. I'd be happy to do this if we were married, but we're not. When we talked about marriage in the past, he was always against the idea. Now, he thinks we should get married. I'm not sure. I still pay my half of the rent every month, and I've started paying for a housekeeper to come in and clean a few times each week, so our apartment is nearly spotless and looks great. I told my boyfriend he is not entitled to my inheritance. He never even wanted to meet my grandmother. He says I'm being selfish for expecting him to contribute to the rent when I could easily afford to pay the whole thing. Who's right here? Signed, not his wife. So here's the thing that I think is interesting. They've talked about getting married in the past. He had no interest whatsoever. All of a sudden, one thing has changed. Her financial position. Now he's like, I'm okay with that marriage thing.
No, that's not even what he's saying. He's saying just pay the rent. Just pay the rent and let's do a joint account. No, run away, lady. I mean, what on earth are you thinking?
But now he thinks we should get married.
No. Absolutely not. No. This is a man-child, and you don't need him.
So here's my question then. Does she break up with the guy?
Yes.
Does that make her a bad person for now that she's financially in a good spot, she's leaving the guy? Because I feel
he's shown his true colors.
Yeah, I suppose.
So, no, that doesn't make her a bad person. It makes her smart. She would be very, very stupid to marry this guy.
Well, again, there's so many things that... What do you call it? Factors of this equation? That isn't right. Am I saying the right words here?
If they were split, he lives there. If they were splitting rent before, why should she be responsible for 100% of it now? Yeah,
there's a lot of variables. I don't know. I think that's the word I was looking for. You guys might have all just watched me live lose my brain.
There are no variables that explain this.
Okay, but here's what I'm saying. Before I'm going to tell her, you should just break up.
Yeah, dump him.
But here's... Heidi's easy to give this advice because she doesn't really care about these things. But I'm saying there's a lot of other factors here. Like... You guys been, according to this, he's been your boyfriend for 3 years. Do you have children together? You've been living together for 3 years. It doesn't say anything here whether or not they have children. So if there's children involved, I would certainly not say, hey, you know what? A little bump in the road, you guys need to split up. What I would say is I think you need to keep separate checking accounts because you're not married. So if you were married, then all of a sudden it's a whole different story. But you're not married. He made the decision. It sounds like numerous times when you've talked about it in the past. Again, when we've talked about this in the past, he was always against the idea. So that means that more than once they talked about this, and it was never anything he was interested in. But now he thinks we should get married.
No, make him pay his part of the rent.
That factor changed, and he's going, okay, well, now I'm okay getting married.
Yeah, nope.
So I don't think that's a good thing. He either wanted to get married because he loves you, or he didn't, and he didn't. And I think that's really sad. And then... the fact that he wouldn't even meet your grandmother, but somehow he thinks, well, you got all this money, I should get some of that. Why? For what? You didn't even meet the lady.
Even if you had met her, it's not his money.
But I'm just saying, it's really sad to me that, it sounds like she tried to get him to meet the grandmother and he didn't even want to meet her.
Yeah,
I don't like.
You can do better.
So anyway, he says you're being selfish. No, he's the one that's being selfish. And again, I'm not to the point where I'm saying you need to break up with the guy, but it might turn into that. Because this might turn into a hurdle that you can't get over in your relationship. But I don't know. Should you still contribute to the rent? Yes. Should he as well? Yes. I think you should both be contributing to the rent. Here's the other thing. You could probably afford to buy a house. Just saying.
Oh, for sure.
If you haven't thought that one through. All right.
But don't bring him.
What do you think, folks? You can chime in with your advice at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
It's more important now than ever before to have a better credit card. We would love to help at bettercreditcards.com. We offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we can help you find a good fit for you at bettercreditcards.com.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to bettercreditcards.com.
That's bettercreditcards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
40 is the only number in the English language that has its letters in alphabetical order.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe that's why they got rid of the U.
That could be.
Because I don't know.
I always wondered where that
Me
U
too.
went.
All right, fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The entire internet weighs about the same as one large strawberry.
Okay.
I don't know how anybody measured that, but Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Sitting on a toilet for 8 hours uses the same number of calories as 1 hour of jogging or running.
Who would sit on a toilet for 8 hours?
But I finally found something I could stick to. Fun fact, because I'm saying if I was on there for 8 hours, I would stick to it. I'm sure I would be stuck to it. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Official temperatures used in weather apps are taken in the shade, not in the sunlight. All right.
Really?
And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Likely due to climate change, allergy season is getting longer and more intense every year.
Of course.
All right. Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help you protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com. Question for you, Heidi. About 20% of kids know this about a parent. What is it?
Their birth date.
I know this about you. Their telephone passcode.
Oh.
Do our kids know yours?
Yeah.
Do they really?
Yep.
What is the point of having it then? Everybody knows it.
Nobody else knows it. Like if I lose it.
Okay, everybody listen. I'm going to give you Heidi's passcode. It is, we're out of time. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com.
Do you cringe when you get your mobile phone bill? Mint Mobile can help. Just $15 a month for premium wireless. Give your family a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone to Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That is far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Tim W. Bleifnick, a former Family Feud contestant who joked about regretting marriage on the game show, received 3 life sentences in an Illinois courtroom for the murder of his wife, Rebecca.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, 2 of the life sentences stem from 2 counts of first-degree murder, while the third life sentence is for his conviction of home invasion. There will be no opportunity for parole, credit for time served, or possibility of release. He was found guilty 2 months ago.
Yikes.
Is that the weirdest thing ever? So he's on TV saying he regrets marrying her, and then he kills the lady. That's not nice. I mean, that's
not nice.
The whole thing is really, really sad. But I didn't know where else to put that. It was going to be in my television news, but I'm like, that doesn't seem right for big screen, little screen. This is a really weird story. I thought it belonged here in Weird News, brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Time now for the list, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. I'm going to finish up what we started yesterday. The perfect time to do stuff. When is the best time to see a therapist, Heidi? 9 a.m. Both you and the therapist are relatively fresh. So they're saying that's the best time. Best time to go on a date. They say
7.
Keep it light with a late morning coffee date.
Oh,
or lunch or early afternoon date. So they're saying do it early in the day. Best time to do homework. They say come home, relax for about a half hour, have a snack, and then get right to it before dinner. The best time to watch a movie, there's 3 best times. For groups of 3 or more, it's after 9 p.m., following a meal together. For 2 people, like on a date, it's 6 p.m., and what is that? And apparently there was just the 2. I thought there was 3. Best time to work out, Heidi?
Morning.
Although a morning training session can be more productive and improve your mood for the day, energy and performance tends to improve later in the day, around 6 p.m. And my favorite thing on the list, when is the best time of the day to have a little, mommy-daddy time, if you know what I'm talking about?
Morning.
Yeah, morning is exactly what it says. What are you doing tomorrow? She's my wife, by the way, just in case you're wondering. The list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. If you're looking for a new opportunity, South Dakota is calling. There's over 27,000 open jobs at this very moment. Whether you like the city life or if you're more of a fan of the rural lifestyle, South Dakota has plenty to offer. From the Black Hills and the Badlands on the west side of the state to the rolling prairies in the middle with many small towns and the city of Sioux Falls on the eastern edge, there's no state income tax in South Dakota and many job opportunities. Learn more about what's waiting for you in South Dakota at movetosd.com. That's movetosd.com. Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of insurancechicken.com. Our quote today is from Robert Benchley, who says, Anyone can do any amount of work provided it isn't the work he is supposed to be doing at that moment. You ever notice that? I got a stack of work to get to. I'm like, I don't have time to do all of this. And then I have some nonsensical, silly little thing.
I have noticed.
That I'm like, I don't even need to do this, but I'm about 90% done now, so I'm going to finish. All right, quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. Headline, family donates over 200 anti-choking devices to schools after a Christmas gift saved a man's life. This happened in Lowell, Massachusetts. Family there donated hundreds of life-saving devices to a school. The heartfelt gesture comes after a harrowing incident in which one of these devices saved the life of a family member. Maggie O'Rourke, an ICU nurse and the mother of a toddler, gifted her parents a thing called a LifeVac anti-choking device for Christmas. She said, I knew right away when I handed over the anti-choking device on Christmas I was going to get made fun of, and sure enough, I did. Maggie admits that she was nervous thinking about leaving her young child with her parents, but the gift made her feel a little more at ease. We're like, oh, Maggie, you're such a nervous first-time mother. That's what her mother told her. Well, the very next day, the gift saved Maggie's father's life. He was eating some leftover turkey, and he started to choke.
Oh, wow.
I asked him if he was okay, and he couldn't speak. We know that's a classic sign of somebody choking, Christine said. He stood up and then collapsed on the floor. She performed abdominal thrusts and the Heimlich maneuver, but that wasn't working. She called 911 after a couple cycles of CPR. She remembered, oh, hey, I've got a gift that was just given to me. She said, I tried it once and nothing happened. Then I tried it a second time, and the food actually came up into the device within seconds. It seemed like forever, but then he took a giant breath, and I just couldn't believe it.
Wow.
In gratitude for this life-saving intervention, the family reached out to local schools and said, hey, if we bought some of these and we had them there, would you guys be able to use them? And since they've now donated more than 200 of these devices to schools in their area. The reality is, Chrissy, if Chrissy didn't get that device, I would be dead right now. There's no question about it, her dad said. It's pretty easy to use, Mom says. It comes with two masks, an adult mask and a pediatric mask, and it kind of works like a plunger. You just pop it right on.
Right.
You place it on, you press it, you pull, and it makes a big suction. Simple as that, says Maggie. So that is a really cool thing. I've got a link to this if you want to read more about it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show.